How do you level up your already amazing Panasonic S5 to record a 5.9K image to 68 billion different colors? I picked up the Blackmagic Video Assist recently to help understand the answer to that question. If you own a Blackmagic 6K Pro, then this combination helps complete a great complementary VCam setup. This is not a review. I'm not going to go and explore every single option that the Video Assist can do. Instead, I'm going to share how and why I'm using the Blackmagic Video Assist and how to set it up with the Panasonic S5. Let's jump in and see why the Video Assist is such a great upgrade for your S5 and so much more. Someone might ask, why not just buy another Blackmagic 6K if you want two cameras with B-roll? I'm glad you asked. Most of my current work is done much easier using the Panasonic S5 filming at 4K, and the S5 has arguably the best IBIS on the market, so I can freehand a lot of the shots. This helps me avoid using a gimbal for the 6K Pro for those shots. I also make short films, and those demand a much higher resolution of color, 12-bit in the size of the image. So in short, I have a 6K Pro for the heavier lifting for cinema, and the S5 for quicker, day-to-day, smaller projects. They have different purposes, which is why I didn't buy a second 6K Pro, even though I want another one, well, that and a red Komodo. But back to the heavy cinema lifting. If I was to also gain those advantages in the S5 and in a similar format like B-RAW or ProRes, then so be it. Let's jump into the main features I was looking for. The first is the most obvious. I wanted a 5.9K image size to help match the size of the image to the 6K Pro for similar framing in post. More pixels always help me to reframe an image a little if necessary, while still maintaining as many pixels as possible for the final edit. 5.9K is only available in Vlog from the S5, but that's okay. I wouldn't want the other picture styles anyways. Next, I wanted a 12-bit image with 68 billion colors. That's the color bit depth you get with 12-bit. And why it's so important. 8-bit colors, roughly 16 million colors, while 10-bitters are around a billion colors. I'm going to do another video about the big differences between 8, 10, and 12-bit video. It's about 60 times more colors with every 2-bit jump. So 12-bit can be a huge deal depending on your workflow and final delivery. Finally, I wanted B-RAW. A while back, I began to walk through the fun world of Magic Lantern and quickly stopped when I saw the crazy workflow from such setups. I tried the Canon EOS M, Canon 5D Mark II, which I fell in love with as a photography camera, but as Jake from CVP explained in their video in 2019, Magic Lantern was a great cheap alternative for a while, but working with cinema DNG files is a huge pain. B-RAW is just so much better in comparison for the workflow and level of effort. I even saw someone say they got rid of their Panasonic S5 for an EOS M and Magic Lantern and couldn't help but think about how much more of a pain their editing grew. Maybe they didn't know about the Blackmagic Video Assist. Don't know. Now let's talk about a few of the other great features in the Video Assist. There's no recording limit. In fact, it will continue recording from one card to another, including an external SSD when they fill up, not dropping a frame between jumps. I admit I didn't test this yet. Netflix doesn't like that FYI, but it's still a fantastic feature. It doesn't overheat due to a large fan located on the back of the unit. Speaking of the fan, it seems fairly quiet to me. Crazy bright screen. The screen is 2500 nits compared to the 1500 nits on the 6K Pro, which is also fairly bright. Metal construction. The Video Assist has a metal frame, not plastic like my 6K Pro. Great format versatility. It can still record 4K and 10-bit in either ProRes or DNxHR, in addition to the 5.9K B-roll. Single cable control. So much data is captured through the single HDMI cable from the S5 to the Video Assist. Check out some of the real-time data captured on the lens data, let alone the 2 audio channels, video feed, and camera control, all through one cable from the S5. The scopes. The waveform, parade, histogram, and vector scopes are great. Just make sure to press the gear on the bottom left and turn on the background opacity, or you'll keep wondering why your video feed isn't visible behind your scopes, since the default has the video feed hidden. The vector scope is particularly brilliant because it allows you to zoom in up to 4 times. There are control similarities to the 6K Pro. I won't go over every single feature, but items like the swipe to clear the screen and quick zoom are hugely appreciated. Color grade options. I will make a separate video how to color grade the footage from the Video Assist here, but there are some really fun options available with this special B-RAW file. Let's jump in and get the S5 and the Video Assist set up to use. I will start by sharing the firmware on both the S5 and the Video Assist. Quick note, once the S5 is set up for HDMI output, you will only record on the Video Assist. So if you want to use the SD cards in your S5, put them in the Video Assist instead. Let's start and enable the HDMI raw output. Fourth icon down, there's the fourth icon. Image format 2 is the page. HDMI raw output is on, as we can see. Then we're going to go to camera third icon. Camera third icon, record quality. Here's the one we've always wanted, 5.9K, 23.98. Okay, so now let's choose the output on HDMI. If you're on record, on input, you can see you have SDI and HDMI. Just make sure HDMI is selected. You can also see it's up top here, which is amazing. Doesn't that feel great? Enable the record button on the S5 so you don't have to press the record button on the Video Assist if you don't want to. I love this. It's a great option. Also works if you're doing the other ProRes 4K output. So we're going to go to camera icon, third icon, image format, time code. You're going to go down to HDMI time code and make sure that that is on. Then you're going to go to the next one where it actually does turn it on. So we're going to go to the gear icon. Sixth icon down, you can see is already selected there, HDMI record output. Then we're going to turn that on. So you have a few different items in here. This is now going to be enabled because we turned the time code on. We want that on. Now on the Video Assist, we're going to go to record, which is on the top left, trigger record. Trigger record is on page 2. Video start and stop. So now I'm just going to demonstrate. When I press record here, you see the square and you see it's recording up top. So it's not recording on the camera, but it's recording on the Video Assist. Press stop and it presses stop by the record buttons on the S5. So this is controlling the Video Assist, but it's not recording on the body of the S5. Press it and it stops. Okay, now let's enable HDMI sound output. So we're going to go to the gear icon, sixth again. It's the same in-out page. HDMI record output, sound output on. The sound transmits 12-bit at 48 kHz from the Panasonic S5. Well, the analog inputs on the 7-inch Video Assist are 196 kHz at 24-bit with phantom power available. There are no stereo inputs available on the Video Assist, but that's okay. I can use the Panasonic S5's microphone inputs to carry the sound inputs from the Rode Wireless Go 2 and actually get 4 analog inputs with this setup. And I'll just show you really quickly. Here's where you control your headphones or your inputs really fast. But when you go to audio, I have 4 channels, so you can select 2, you can select 4. I put XLR on 3 and 4 because I'm going to use this as 1 and 2. The Rode Wireless will use 1 and 2 now that my HDMI output is turned on to input audio levels. So now let's demonstrate that. Have our 2 wireless Go 2s. Okay, test 1 on one. They're super sensitive. Test 1 on the other. Now you can see I have inputs. Test 1, test 2. So now I'm going to plug in an XLR on the right, on the left side of the monitor here. So I do have phantom power, so I'm going to turn on phantom power for this one. We're going to go back, and now I'm going to hold all three microphones next to each other, and you can see test 1, super loud, test 2, and test 3. So similarly, XLR input number 4 would also work. So there's a method to use all 4 inputs just with this setup. 2 wireless and 2 corded through the analog inputs. Quick note, you need to select which channels are audible in the headphones, since you can only listen to 2 channels at a time. It's a weird restriction, but here's how you change your monitor channels. Select your menu, which we're already on. We're in audio. Actually, third page. You have monitor channels, and this is what you'll be able to listen to on your monitor, i.e. your headphones. So if I'm listening to 1 and 2, and I'm listening to 1 and 2 coming out of my HDMI via the wireless Go, that's only what I'm going to hear here. But if I had 2 analog inputs on the XLR, I would have to go back to audio monitor channels and select 3 and 4 to hear 3 and 4 out of the headphones. So base ISO for Vlog is 640, but when extended ISO is turned on, it's 320. We're going to go to the gear and then the first icon. Then we're going to go to extended ISO and make sure that's on. Just to show you a demonstration of what it looks like when it's off, I'm going to go all the way down. Very bottom is 640. So let's go back to extended ISO on. Now I can go to 320. If you want any tips on how I set up the scroll wheels for doing ISO, I have another link you can select here. Now make sure to save all this into a custom mode. So wrench, 4th icon, save to custom mode. We'll put it on 3.1. So now all of your settings will always be available when you scroll your wheel to C3. What if you want to film to another file format like ProRes or DNxHR? If you want 5.9K, you're stuck in B-RAW. But if you want 4K in the Video Assist, which you can do by the way, then there are a few simple steps. Okay, turn off raw output. So we saw how to turn it on earlier. We're going to the gear icon, 4th icon down, and we're going to turn this off. As soon as you turn it off, you're going to see this drops the codec not supported. Watch what happens if we forget to turn off the display. Focus peaking highlights all of our menu from the camera. You can still see your settings on the S5, just not on the HDMI output, which is the Video Assist in this case. So I'm just going to turn this on really quick. ProRes. Now it's happy, it recognizes something. So when I swipe down, you can see my screen is actually on the monitor. So if I hit record, this will be recorded on the video file, which of course is not what we want. And I have clean feed on. So now, look what happens if you have focus assist on. It lights up whatever color you have for all your items, which is probably a good friendly reminder to get rid of them. So I'm going to go clean feed. Okay, that just means my focus assist is off. So if I leave this back on, turn off focus assist, you can see that that's what was turning everything red. But I love focus assist. We're going to keep it on. But now we're going to go and show how to turn off the info display. So select gear, 6th icon, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're back to this one again. Then we're going to go to HDMI record output, info display off. Info display off. So now we go back, it's all cleaned up. All of our extra items are gone. Make sure the manual focus assist is turned off so the zoom square doesn't appear, ruining your shot. I'm assuming you're using manual focus. So you're going to go to select gear, 2nd icon, Page 1. MF Assist, Manual Focus Assist. Focus ring off. In fact, I'm going to show you on really quick so you can see what it does. So if you're focusing, you can see it puts the square on here as well as up top. Even though you have cleared up the screen, it still lets the manual focus onto your output. So that's why we need to turn it off. So now if we turn it off and you focus, you just see the focusing, and that's it. Now that is the focus assist, this time from the monitor only, the video assist. In fact, you can even go to turn off peaking. P is gone. You will not see any focus peaking on here. You'll still see it on the video assist because video assist is working correctly, because you have it turned on up here on the focus assist. So I like peaking, so I'm going to turn it back on. The P appears. So select your video size preference on the S5. Not all sizes work. See the Video Assist manual for a complete list of acceptable file sizes. But right now we're just showing the 4K. Cinema 4K is not supported. We'll go to another one just to show you. But if we go to the first 4K, now they work. So there's 4K 60. 4K 60 has a crop. 4K 30 does not have a crop. So when I click it, it's going to go back. And now you're gonna see a normal size frame. Now it's zoomed back out. I'm usually using the typical 24 frames at 4K. And record full frame 4K ProRes on your Video Assist. Or DNxHR HQ. And there it is recording. Along with so many great features, I did uncover a few minor oddities. For one, the battery indicators seem backwards to me. When you press on the battery icon, it shows a battery on the left as battery 1. But when I reach behind the monitor to remove what I think is battery 1, battery 2 disappears. It's obviously not a big deal, but just a strange choice to not match the placement of the batteries to the user pressing the button on the front. Battery life is okay, but with the ability to hot swap batteries and use any size of the Sony MPF series, should mitigate any worries. If you're running phantom power to 2 microphones, you'll drain a little more quickly. Also, the battery charge levels will display when you press the battery button, but they will not charge when the external power is plugged in. I'm used to the battery charging inside of the Blackmagic 6K Pro when external power is connected. No such luck here, sadly. When this particular unit arrived, I pulled it out of the box and was surprised to hear something rattling around inside of the metal housing. It didn't cause any issues and was probably something related to shipping, but I returned it regardless because I didn't want a future surprise if that loose piece of material just happened to connect an internal circuit and fry the Video Assist. You'll notice a very slight lag between the Video Assist and the S5, but nothing that has caused me any issues. Here you can see the difference between 5.9K at 30 frames per second and here at 4K at 60 frames per second. I also use the Video Assist for some light lifting, like converting some old VCR tapes using HDMI converter to low resolution ProRes files. It was definitely time to convert those old VCR tapes before they were destroyed due to old age. I love that I can still take advantage of recording either ProRes or DNxHR in 4K 10-bit with no crop, by the way, even though 5.9K is not available for those modes. It provides more options for other workflows that could come in handy in the future for some other customers. If you use 4K in RAW mode, you get the APS-C Super 35 crop. More and more cameras and options are constantly being added to the Blackmagic Video Assist. Panasonic S5 was just added this year, while webcam streaming, XLR audio mapping, and much more was added in previous software updates. The team at Blackmagic seems to be learning and updating their equipment for us quite a bit, so I personally appreciate their extra efforts. And no, they're not paying me anything, I just really enjoy the equipment I've used from them so far. If you want to jump back to any part of the video, feel free to use the chapter breaks below or in the description to quickly view those sections again. Please let me know any questions or comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining.